former world master and a former winner on the European Tour, Mervyn King. And he's already making things difficult for the ref because he wants the board moved. Not entirely, just move round. Even Merv can't demand that sort of thing. Just move it 4 feet to the left. But he's taking on Michael Rasztovits, the Austrian Rasto, 33-year-old. Doesn't hold a tour card, but he's played in 6 Euro Tours before now. With limited success, it has to be said. Much like myself and Chris Murphy on many European tours with very little success. But Murphy joins me now in the commentary box for this one.
Yeah, well, I'll be back again tomorrow as well, because Paul Nicholson has just won on his return to the European Tour stage. In fact, Mervyn King is the man that Paul Nicholson beat to win his Players' Championship title. A major PDC title, something that Mervyn King hasn't got. Not for want of trying. Been in many finals. He's been a 4-time finalist on the European Tour. As you mentioned, Dan, one of those did turn into victory, did turn into success. Sindelfingen back in 2014, Mervyn King won the European Darts Grand Prix, and he reached a final on the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg, Mervyn, the throw first. Game on!
Just a couple of weeks ago, so are there signs that the King is hitting top form again?
Well, I remember when he did win that Euro Tour title in Sindelfingen.
60.
And then rode off home on his motorbike all the way across Europe like some sort of East Anglian Hell's Angel.
One right up, folks.
He was in some real form at that point. That was when Mervyn King was going deep into big tournaments, big TV tournaments. It's a real threat. I mean, everybody remembers the Masters. That final the other day on the Pro Tour, that was his first final since the Masters final.
Really?
85.
Whatever.
Yeah, he beat Rob Cross in qualifying for this event, Warwick Sheffer and then Rob Cross. Rob Cross was the man to deny him a title in Barnsley a couple of weeks ago. He had some incredible matches, many of them captured on the live stream. He beat James Wade en route to that final. The semi-final against Steve West was another right old ding-dong repeat of their brilliant World Championship match.
Right up, folks.
And Mervyn King was fueled with aggression all the way through the match and then burst into tears after getting the job done. Overcome with emotion at knocking out one of his many best pals in darts.
58. Mark will require 120.
Now the Shanghai for Rasztovits to get the first leg on the board. Treble 20 for double top now. Does not get the treble, so the King will return.
98. He loves double 16, doesn't he, Mervyn King? So should he get the treble 20? Will he even go for treble 20? No, he won't. He'll go for 7 and then drop his dart.
That's the only way to go.
Now
7, drop dart.
He'll have a job leaving double 16 now. He does leave double top.
78. Mark will require 20.
Well, for a breaker throw in the opening leg for Rasto. Double 5 he wants. Double 5 he gets.
First leg. Michael Rasztovits.
An anxious start for the
Second
Mervyn.
leg, Michael to throw first. Game on.
He's a man who plays through the pain barrier. Long-standing back problems, Mervyn King. Sciatic nerve, I believe.
100.
And yet, he was still practicing this morning and spent all afternoon practicing, because that's what Merv does. Merv is one of the biggest practices I think I've ever seen in darts, certainly on match days. I don't know how it works out over the course of the week.
Yeah, well, since we've started streaming the floor events, we've seen firsthand Mervyn King is the first man in the venue. If we've ever been there to do some daft bit of filming about the venue that we're in, Mervyn King is there.
Banging the door down.
Yeah. First man in. Will he be the last man to leave this weekend? Who knows? The big guns join the action tomorrow, including MVG, Peter Wright and James Wade, but Mervyn King will be hoping to have a say.
Yes, and it's the Euro Tour winner, or winner of a European Tour event from last year, Mensur Suljovic, who awaits the winner of this one. Will it be an all-Austrian clash? Will it be another England versus Austria?
41.
Just the 41 from Merv. Leaves him a bogey number. Rasztovits has got 2 visits to see off the 240 now. Ton 40 and take out 100. Happy days. But unfortunately, if he hits single 5, that doesn't help you.
Sorry, Dad, I'm just daydreaming about the prospect of Mervyn against Mensur.
Can you imagine?
Well, a 140 would apply the pressure. A ton would leave him somewhere near. 60 just leaves an outside chance.
82.
Curious.
57.
Mervyn King
Michael require 136.
going a route which wouldn't have left his favourite double 16. Michael Rasztovits has very charitably just failed
61.
to get down from 240. It's taken him 9 darts to get to 75.
Mervyn King just... Is it double 16 that he likes, or does he just like making it harder for himself? Because that's a curious route. A man who always leaves double 16 and gets criticised for it when he goes for 80 and risks only getting a shot at the bullseye. Then with 82, where the bullseye is the right shot to leave double 16 and you've got an out if you miss it and hit the 25, opts for 114 and only gets a shot at the bullseye. Anyway, it's one apiece.
Very curious. I'm struggling to see the logic. I mean, having said that, I think it might have been yourself that pointed out, despite the fact that Merv leaves double 16 at every available opportunity, when he does leave double top, he is actually a superb hitter of double top.
59.
Rasztovits with a first 180. 7th Euro Tour for Michael Rasztovits. Only won the one game. That was last year in Gibraltar. He beat Steve Beaton 6-4 and then was beaten 6-4 by Kim Huybrechts in the next round. So it's fair to say Michael Rasztovits' European Tour record ain't great, but he does have the capability to go and put a performance in and take out a big name.
Well, he's a man who's not giving up on his darting dream. He's played in Q School every year since 2013 and never got a tour card. But he keeps trying. Well, bullseye for the 1-2-1.
78.
Right, Mervyn, 2 for double 16, or will he leave something else?
Surely he splits it. Yeah. Mervyn surprised that he didn't hit double 16.
18.
I have to say I'm a bit surprised as well.
43.
Well, it's a chance for Rasztovits to break again. Tops he wants.
3 score.
Tops he does not get, so King will return
Requires 16.
for the chance to move ahead for the first time.
All around the board, chasing it.
14.
He's in the madhouse.
Michael will require 40.
Not sure whether Rasztovits thought he was coming back to the board. Merv walks right across him there, just to make him wait a little bit more. I'm sure it was accidental. Or was it?
Game shot.
Matters not, because Michael Rasztovits makes it 3 consecutive breaks of throw in this match. And the Austrian has gone into the lead.
First. Game on.
Has appeared at the World Championships at Alexandra Palace before, Michael Rasztovits. Lost in a prelim match to Rob Szabo.
140.
King's the second time he's dropped a dart now, and you can see the grimace on his face. Has he kind of done a bit of damage to the old back as he's bent down for that one?
57.
Well, didn't look very comfortable on getting up and retrieving that dart from the floor. Struggling the match. Is he struggling with his back? See how this plays out.
What he needs is some sort of like litter picking grabber or an automated arm that can pick stuff up for him. Either that or just assistance.
Or not drop the darts on the floor.
I mean, that's another option, yeah.
93.
He did have a prolonged wipe of his hands in the background then, so maybe it's just a bit of perspiration on the fingertips.
18 is the shot here.
140.
But it doesn't matter because Mervyn's not going to get down to a finish. But, you know.
Yeah, it's a good habit to be in, isn't it, though?
Yeah. It's sort of automatic a lot of their players, isn't it? They're just, well, 302 and need an 18 in there somewhere.
It would be for a bit of day like this. Can he plonk in a treble?
59.
Well, he can see the logic in trying to leave a two-darter. Now they're in the same vicinity. Treble, single, double.
No treble for Rasztovits. Mervyn looking at Shanghai. Just telling himself, stay straight. Give himself a chance with this second dart, even if it doesn't go in the treble 20. That's giving him a great chance. Great chance. Taken chance. Shanghai finish, and it's 4 consecutive breaks, and the King levels things up.
Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
King, one of 20 winners of PDC European Tour events. Only 5 have won more than one.
180.
You can't have a better start than that to a leg. Go on, Dan, name the 5.
Michael van Gerwen has won many. Phil the Power Taylor has won numerous. Michael Smith has won 3.
34.
Kim Hybrex has won 2. And that would leave one more player.
100.
Think about a famous game against Mervyn King. It will give you a clue as to who the other player is.
Really?
Really?
139.
The machine, as we call it. James Wade. 127 for King, treble 19 for Bullseye. Doesn't get a go.
87.
But he sets it up for double top. The 167 would hurt. But it's not going to go. And Mervyn King, for the first holder throw in this match, the King will look at double top for a 3-2 lead. He has been behind or level. That is the best Mervyn's been in the first 4 legs. Double 10. There it is. Mop of the brow and a sprightly move to the board. Mervyn King. It's incredible what winning legs does for injuries, isn't it? Incredible.
66.
Well, they do say beware the injured sportsman. Remember Simon Whitlock rocking up at Ali Pali one year with a broken leg and hitting the highest average in the first round. And here goes King again. Kicking off with a 180. Maybe it clicked his back into place. Maybe all the years of back trouble are going to be behind him now, and he's just going to go on and win everything in sight.
59.
And look, it would be miraculous. But he may win this match and then celebrate by going into a routine from La La Land, swinging round Russ Bray's head like a lamppost and belting out a tune. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't rule it out. Mervyn has had some very odd post-match interviews in the past.
Some of them have not even been his. Beware the interview bomb.
Truer words has never been spoken.
But the King is in command now in this match, having
85.
not been up until this point. And for all the fun and games involved, still one of the best darts players on the planet.
Mervyn to require 95.
Look, Mervyn King, 51 years old. He's still ranked 21 in the world. His longevity is incredible. People talk about Phil Taylor. And look at this. Is that a good guide for the ball?
70.
On the wrong side of it, Merv.
Michael require 93.
Rasztovits get a shot at the same target or better. It is the bull. And he's got the wrong side of it and outside the 25, so King
require 25.
will go 9 for double 8.
Good leave from Rasztovits. Will he get a go? Loves this area of the board, Mervyn.
70.
But not tonight. Oddly.
Require 40.
It's peaks and troughs for King and swings and roundabouts in the match.
Game shot in the 6th leg.
Topsy-turvy affair where we had a one-sided afternoon. But we're having a very, very close evening apart from our esteemed colleague Paul Nicholson.
No longer our colleague. Player now. In fact, at the end of his match, in his interview with Elmar, he did say that working as a commentator, i.e. working with you and I, is basically what made him realise how much he wanted to be a player again on the stage. So, you're welcome, Paul. I'm sorry it's been such a trial.
Yeah, I don't think he meant it as a compliment.
Neither do I.
134.
So if any other dart players are looking to rejuvenate their career, just come and spend some time in Chris Murphy's company and soon you will realise how much you want it. Spur you on to even greater feats. Mervyn King spurring himself on
140.
to a ton 40 to leave him 104 checkout. And I'm pretty sure Mervyn will go 418s for double 16.
140.
Ooh, look at that. Absolutely loving the 140 Rasztovits, even though it doesn't leave him on a finish.
Yeah, pump in the face, and he does go 418s for double 16.
72.
Doesn't find the target in his favourite area of the board yet again.
Profligate on the double 16 this evening, Mervyn King. Very un-King-like.
40. Mervyn, you require 32.
Surely this time it's going.
Surely.
Game shot in the 7th leg.
Well, it's the second
Mervyn
time he's
King.
nailed double 8 in this match, but he's still yet to hit his favourite double 16. Curious, but he is 4-3 up.
57.
It's often a battle, isn't it, with Mervyn King? However well he plays, his opponent seems to play at a similar level, and it's often a battle of a match as he looks to kick off another leg of the match. This time the third dart falls beneath. The two that I have to say looks a perfect lie for King to follow. And Rasztovits shows him how it's done.
2 180s apiece in this one. Pretty much level pegging, just a point in it. Rasztovits cannot afford to lose this leg. Were he to do so, Mervyn would be 5-3 up and have the throw in 2 of the remaining 3 legs.
Mervyn may look down to the 19s now because 133 would leave 132 and 95 would leave 170. In the end, he tried the 25 route to leave that, missed it and isn't on a finish, allowing Rasztovits 2 visits to clean up 124.
56.
Yeah, frustration there for Merv. He was trying to leave the 160, wasn't he? A finish without the bullseye needed, but in the end he's not left any finish at all. And that means that Rasztovits is going to get at least 1 dart to level it up at 4 apiece. It is only going to be 1 dart, and it may need to go, Rasto. And it does go. That certainly did deserve the fist pump.
Mervyn to throw first.
We mentioned Mervyn's form this year. In addition to that final, he'd already reached 2 quarter-finals before that in 2017. We're only in March, and there's some talent on those Pro Tour events.
No, certainly.
Certainly, if you're going to be in the top 8, you're playing good darts. Former Premier League star.
Former Premier League finalist, of course.
94. 1-0.
Mervyn deciding there that he wanted to gamble on hitting the treble rather than going for 25, which would have left him a finish where he doesn't need the bullseye. Rasztovits is down to a finish, so there's very little between them. Important leg this, important moments coming up, and Merv is not going to take out the 161. He'll leave himself relatively handily placed, but this is a game-changing shot. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Wow, some setup. Mervyn King, treble 10 for double 16. He's not had much fun on double 16. That continues.
54.
And Mervyn, that area of the board where he's usually deadly, it's just letting him down.
This is to break. And now, Michael Rasztovits is going to be throwing for the match and a win against Mervyn King.
Game on.
Wow, Mervyn looked to be in the ascendancy, looked to have control of this match.
137.
Looked to be progressing through to round 2, but Michael Rasztovits has dug in, stuck with him. A superb setup shot there has put him on the brink of just the second career win on the European Tour. Steve beaten the other man he's vanquished on the European Tour before now. Remember, this is his 7th Euro Tour, only won 1 game.
And now, can Mervyn King raise the 60 and play a better hand? He's already matched it. He's doubled it. He's trebled it, the King. 3 of a kind for the King.
125.
And he's going to be down to a finish first. How small will that finish be?
Ooh, important last start from Mervyn King. The difference of 40 points there between leaving 96 and 136. Absolutely enormous.
74. Mervyn, you require 96.
Not the end of the world for Rasztovits.
Is it 1 dart? No, it's 2.
Game shown at 10.
Well, what a leg from Mervyn King. Back to the wall, 11 dart break, 96 finish.
Game on.
Show of respect. Fist bump from this pair. But now Mervyn King has wrestled back control. He's going to have the darts in this decider. And another close encounter on this fantastic Friday evening in Hildesheim.
Well, look, we've only seen
85.
2 matches go the distance today. Christian Kist, a 6-5 win over Michael Ploy, and Jan Dekker, a 6-5 win over Chris Quantock. And in both cases, the loser missed a match dart. Michael Rasztovits has fired in his 3rd 180 of this contest to put him in a position to potentially get a match dart himself.
1-0.
Just the ton from Mervyn. Rasztovits has stolen the darts. You just saw him signal at the start of this leg to his friends or family or supporters in the crowd. He pointed at the stage. Now, I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know whether he meant this is where I have to do it. We know it is. It's the last leg. Or whether he felt that he'd already lost it, he'd blown his chance. I don't know.
Here comes the King, though. Well, he needed another treble to leave a finish. And now Rasztovits will have a couple of visits for a deciding leg break and victory against the King. But as he buckled at the crucial moment.
Oh, we saw Mervyn do that earlier on, go for the 25, miss it entirely. And it cost him. And it may cost Michael Rasztovits here, because that is a marvellous setup shot from Mervyn King to leave double 4 for the match. The 139, it's nowhere near that first dart. And Michael Rasztovits may be about to bow out of the German Darts Championship. Slaps his thigh in frustration. Thought he'd done enough when he kicked off 180. Couldn't back it up quite enough as Mervyn King looks at double 4. Misses outside. Closer. And there it is. Last dart in hand. Mervyn King. The King is through. Rasztovits beaten in a deciding leg. King will face Mensur Suljovic in a fascinating looking game tomorrow at the Happy Bet German Darts Championship. We're halfway through the evening session. 4 more spots in the second round up for grabs. We've got the likes of Chris Dobie, Jermaine Watermaina and the artist Kevin Painter on the way. But coming up, it's a recent finalist on the Pro Tour, Dynamite Darren Johnson, taking on Robert Allenstein, the last remaining, the penultimate host nation qualifier that we have in action tonight. Bernroyd on the way later on as well. Let's have a word with the king, shall we? This is always good.
Aber Applaus für Michael Rasztovits. Guter Auftritt von ihm hier in Hildesheim. Mervyn, congratulations. Very intensive at the end and very high class. It was brilliant the last leg.
You've got to be to beat a player like that. The man come up here with nothing to lose, and he played excellent darts. So to beat him, you've got to play better.
Yeah. How is your back doing? There was always a problem the last 1-2 years. Is it going better?
Back's good. The sciatic nerve down the left-hand side isn't great. It's hurting right now, standing here. So.
Okay. The next Austrian guy is waiting, Rasztovits. A bit more difficult, I would say, as long as he plays like he's doing it for the last 12 months.
Yeah, but I've been doing this for 30 odd years, so he's got to play me as well. So bring it on.
Okay, looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Mervyn King.